Hey everybody, how we doing today? We're in Fall River, Massachusetts. We just kicked off the new office down here, and we're doing our first Call and the Closer episode with none other than Mr. Cliff Ponte of Keller Williams. He is the broker and principal operator of the brokerage. How you doing today, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Definitely.
Excited to be here with you.
And also the Ponte group, right?
Yeah.
Or Ponte team. So, Cliff, for people that obviously, I call you Mr. Fall River. You're born and raised in Fall River.
Yeah.
You graduated high school in Fall River.
Yeah.
Your brokerage is here in Fall River. So when did you get into real estate? What made you get into real estate? What year did you start?
Yeah, so I started in 2008 while I was in college, right out of high school. I was 18 when I got my license. When I could legally get my license, I got it. And I started, I was going to school to be a school teacher. I had plenty of teachers in my life that gave back to me and were fantastic, and I wanted to be that person. So I started doing real estate. I stumbled in it. I had a mentor that helped me tremendously to get me started, show me the ropes. And from that point on, I decided not to go into education because the opportunity to be your own boss was really, really cool and really fun, and helping people in a different way. So I've been doing it since 2008.
Yeah. And I kind of, that's funny because, I, from a distance, met you, through short sales and foreclosures, because I think people that know you also know that you are a big REO specialist. Mm-hmm. And I bet, knowing you now more than ever, you are an educator. You have a real estate school, right? You love to train, you love to talk, you love to educate realtors and people on the business.
Yeah, so, I do. It's a fun industry because you can really do a lot. You can be a real estate coach, you can own a real estate school, you can be a real estate investor. You can also help your own people, and you can help clients along the way. Yeah. So it's a real nice compromise for wanting to go into education and not doing that and ending up in real estate. Turned out to be pretty fun and really rewarding, no doubt.
So, how many REO assets do you think you've handled since you've had your real estate license?
Oh, goodness. Thousands, probably, at this point. I mean, my clients really trust me and my team to be able to manage the process, which is very unique. I mean, keep in mind, unfortunate sets of circumstances happen in people's lives, and they need to hire a real estate broker to manage the process, manage the eviction. Babysit the property until it's ready to be listed. A lot of people have this thing that they come to me and say, wow, it must be nice to be you. You have all these listings all the time. And really, they don't realize that I maybe had to babysit a house for 5 years before I got the listing. I have to do weekly inspections and do monthly status reports and broker price opinions and report after report after report. And I love the work, don't get me wrong, but it isn't as easy as, a foreclosure occurs, it's vacant, put a house in a lockbox and wait for the phone to ring. Those days are totally over.
And I working with some other foreclosure people throughout the country and some bigger people in Rhode Island as well. That is true. The experience of getting an REO asset, I know everybody wants them. It's like, I need to learn how to get REOs. I need to learn how to get foreclosures. And we talked a little bit before we got on camera today, talking about doing a seminar, possibly at the end of this year. So stay on the lookout for that. We want to put something really nice on, maybe have some asset managers come from other parts of the country, have some speakers come in. So I'm looking forward to partnering up with you on that as well.
Yeah, one of the greatest accomplishments of my life is I've been appointed a director of the National REO Brokers Association, which is NRBA, which is a national association of real estate brokers who specialize in foreclosures all across the country, which has really allowed me to network and interact with them, help them. We support each other. So that's really helped my career really make leaps and bounds as to what if it wasn't for that organization, I know for a fact that I wouldn't be where I am today.
Sure. So let's backtrack out of REO.
Sure.
And let's talk about the new office. I know you kind of condensed a couple of your offices and put a bigger footprint together.
Yes.
So so tell me about the new office. How's it been going for the last 30 to 60 days now since you've been in?
It's been tremendous. I always believe, no matter what business I'm involved in, surrounding yourself with good people to help you run your business has been one of my main core values. I have some really, really good, unique, hungry, entrepreneurial type people that work for me. and help lead my brokerage. I wouldn't be able to have an office of 150 salespeople and do it by myself.
Right, obviously.
So I have a really good team leader. I got a really good support staff there. The office is number one in Bristol County. We have great aspirations and goals. You know, our top producers are so busy, I sometimes can't even sit down and coach them, which is exactly what we wanted, exactly what I want. The office morale and culture is better than it's ever been, and it continues to grow. You know, having multiple offices, I believe, is an ego play. You know, it's like if you own a real estate company, you have, you know, $5,000 of rent that needs to be paid. And if you have 5 real estate offices, what does that do? Right? You separate your agency. I mean, not saying that we won't have multiple offices down the road. But I am living and learning and being in this for the last 15 or so years. I can tell you, having one main centralized hub where your agents can come to me as their broker and ask me a question and be there to support them. Those are the biggest values that we as a brokerage can help our agents. So coming under one umbrella has been enormous for us. We are Keller Williams South Watuppa on the South Watuppa Pond, which is even better. It couldn't have happened any better.
It is a beautiful location.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. And what do you call that? I know you named the hallway in your office. What is it called? Not Closer's Way.
Oh, Capper's Way.
Capper's Way,
so
yes.
Our office is, I mean, it's 11,000 plus square feet. Our agents mostly all have their own offices. We're going to be hopefully moving to another part of the building, which is real close to where we are, for another 5,000 square feet as well in the next year or so. So because we're already almost at capacity,
that's
crazy. But we do have a wing within our office that's Capper Way, which means an agent who contributes $23,000 to our office gets 100% of their commissions. And it's really helped people and agents in our office flip houses now, own multiple businesses, buy their own investment properties, which generally speaking, they wouldn't be able to do if your real estate broker was taking 30, 40, or 50% of every one of your commissions.
Yeah, and that's interesting because Keller Williams obviously has been a sustainable model. And how long have you been with Keller Williams?
We're going on our 7th year. I was a sales manager and partner of a Century 21 brokerage. And we realized that we were losing our really good agents that we sat and trained from the ground up to other offices that were taking them, and they were going into production there. So my partner and I at that time decided it's time to go be with the best, and everybody's tried to duplicate what we do. It's an open book what Keller Williams is all about. But our model is sustainable, and it's a pleasure to have that name attached to us, no doubt.
So, Cliff, as you know, for the first time in a very long time, we've had a change in the real estate game, right? We've seen regulations in title, we've seen regulations in mortgage, lending, and now they passed, NARC had this decision come down where they had the changing buyer agency. And I know with you being an educator and being ahead of the curve, have you started implementing or changing any of the rules of engagement? Are you training the agents on how to go and get their own commissions? Have you been going through that process with them, or are you kind of just sitting back waiting, until they actually slam the hammer down? Because I don't think you're that type of guy.
No, not at all. I mean, we started training our agents a long time ago before this happened. We saw, and I was following what was happening in California and what was happening all across the country. And I was recognizing that this was already happening in California and in Seattle and in Nevada, and we were seeing that. So my firm was actually the first brokerage to put it in the hands of the seller and the listing agent to pay what they're going to pay out. We weren't taking phone calls from other brokerages saying, would you reciprocate with me? We weren't doing that because we saw what was happening.
The trends.
I strongly believe that agencies and offices that are list heavy and have listings are going to prevail and be totally okay. And I think we need to make sure that our agents and those who are in our office or other offices are prepared to improvise and adapt to what changes are happening in our industry. I mean, nothing was more life-changing than Dodd-Frank. And in this industry. And so we'll see what happens. I think we will see some agents do very well with it, and brokers do very well, and others will step aside and realize it's a little harder. We started training our agents to handle this well before all this happens.
So they've already adapted.
We have adapted. The agents have adapted. There'll be some adjustments,
of
but
course.
we're already ahead of that curve with the training that our office provides and the resources we provide our agents. I'm not golfing. I'm not in another part of the country. I'm actually in the building every day and there to support our agents. And that's very important in this market as we see changes. And
and I think, like, you know, and I've talked about this on, you know, numerous videos and Calling the Closer episodes and Balkun Knows Best and the trainings that I do, that, you know, everything starts west and gets this way, right? So, like, when people talk about training, you know, Cliff and I definitely, we go outside of our comfort zone and, like, go into other parts of the country because we need to learn from other people that are doing it way bigger. The brokerages are doing thousands of transactions, you know, like, and they're like, the assets are there. And so, you know, bringing this information back, I think, is always going to help companies like mine and yours, you know, moving forward in the years to come. I mean, you know, I talked about on video, like, hey, even the dog walker sold 15 houses last year. You know what I mean? And it's true, because now, you know, we're seeing agents kind of dropping off a little bit. You're seeing the teams and the high producing realtors really starting to hit their stride again. It's weird, like how we all took that little dip, and I feel like the guys that stayed the pedal to the metal are now starting to hit that curve back up. And I'm seeing it with your team, I'm seeing it with your brokerage, and I'm seeing with some other successful people that just stayed the course and didn't try to, like, oh, woe was me. You took it and ran with it.
You have to, and every market has unique opportunities and opportunities to take advantage of. If you know what you're doing, you know how to capitalize, and you know how to adapt to change. I mean, it's not always going to be easy. We have an inventory shortage. This market is crazy right now, right? You know, I was talking to my team and we were running statistics recently. 5 years ago, it would have to take me 7 houses to get what I would be making in one right now. When I say making, the total commission, GCI to my group. So, I mean, we have to work hard. We have to work harder, but we also have to recognize that things are going to change, and what we do to position our brokerage and our agents and us individually is important. Even as business owners, it's so important.
So, Cliff, you talked a little bit about having multiple irons in the fire as a brokerage, right? Being able to show assets, how to do flips. You have, like, multiple people capping very soon. You know, they have multiple revenue streams. Like, do you think that's an important part of, like, what real estate is today? Like, having, you know, people that know how to do flips or REO assets or short sales or just listing presentations. Like, where do you see, like, you know, not from a brokerage, like maybe from your brokerage standpoint, but as an overall, to maybe help some of the agents out there that are asking themselves, like, what should I be doing? Should I just sit back and wait for rates? Should I wait for inventory to get better? Or should I kind of take the bull by the horns a little bit?
In real estate, I can give anybody any piece of advice. If you want to wait and sit for the phone to ring, you are not going to be successful. I have the opportunity to own a real estate school, South Temple Real Estate School, and I see some bright, articulate people. And I see other people who I know aren't going to make it because I can't train somebody to have the burning desire to be successful. I can't train somebody to go out there and want to make money. If you want to do it, you will, and you'll do successful. I can give you the tools. I can show you how to sell a house. I can show you how to buy a house, and I can help you through that whole process, but I can't train you to have it right here, right? And so that's number one. The second thing is recognizing in this market, and in any market, that you can't rely on one stream of income is so important. If you rely strictly on real estate commissions, you're not going to be sustainable because the market isn't sustainable. It doesn't always go like this. I always try to teach our agents, we want to try to get out of that roller coaster ride of a life. You know, I have 4 deals under agreement. I have none now. They all close at the same time, right? So we try to make sure that we present that. But there's larger opportunities when you're under an umbrella like a Keller Williams, where you make really good money because you get most of your commissions, right? So it allows you to invest in other businesses. It allows our agents who are in my brokerage to be able to flip houses when they, generally speaking, didn't have the financial resources to do so. It'll allow me to partner up with an agent that's been in my office to open a bagel shop. Like, who would have ever have known that, right? So it has provided our agents with you know, the brokerage has provided our agents with resources to be successful outside of just buying and selling houses. And owning investment properties is important. Owning other businesses is important. Being there as a resource and being involved in your community is so important. I mean, when somebody needs help or somebody needs support, be there for them. Give back to your community, and those things are, I think, so important. Just as important as helping people buy and sell houses, but be a resource in your community and provide different revenue streams so that you can be successful in life.
And to capitalize on that, I mean, I would imagine that it's been helping you grow your brokerage, right? Like you have 150 agents. That didn't come from just people just wanting to come work for Cliff.
No, not at all, actually.
And so it's a true testament of what he's talking about is that they've gone through the process. You've been able to build different revenue streams for the people that come because you're willing to teach, you're willing to show.
We have to.
You're willing to make people better.
Yeah, we have to. And look, I had the opportunity one time to get given the keys to a real estate office and say, here you go wait for the phone to ring. Yeah. And that's not what you do. That's not how this real estate market works. And everybody asks me, how do you do it? Well, what it's not like it is on HGTV. It's not a reality TV show, right? This is a really, I always tell people, you can make a lot of money in real estate. Yeah. And you can do very, very well if you listen to a roadmap that somebody provides you. I was fortunate to get that roadmap, and I've given that roadmap to other people. I can write a book about it too, but at the end of the day, if you don't have it, you don't have the burning desire to be successful, I can't do anything with you. Yeah.
And people sometimes want that instant gratification too. They're not willing to put the 5, 7, 10 years in order to get to a point of where they can now step into an arena, maybe opening their own brokerage or being able to have a real estate school or, again, grow your business outside of just one stream. But I think people are not willing to wait. I feel like they just want to, it's like when you see realtors, you have to wait, 2 years before you can get your broker license?
Yes, something like
2,
that.
And then they want to, 5 years, and then they want to be the broker. Right. And they've never even done, they don't even do their own paperwork.
Right, yeah.
And they couldn't teach you how to even do a listing.
Yeah. It took me a year to sell my first house.
Wow.
Right. And I mean, I was a kid. I had hair, which I don't have anymore, right? I had no facial hair. Now I have gray facial hair. So the real estate market can do that to you, no question about it. But all kidding aside, it took me a year to sell my first house. And I remember the house vividly. I drive by it in Fall River all the time. Yep. It's on Herman Street. And I say to myself, I knocked on that door. And I'm the one who knocked on their door after an expired listing, and they gave me an opportunity. A kid who, I lied about my age too, because I was 18. Who was going to hire an 18-year-old person to sell a house? But at the end of the day, I got through it, and I learned a lot. And I had great mentors. And now I'm in a position in my career where I could still sell houses, still invest, and also be a resource for other people. And there's no more rewarding aspect of being in real estate and having a career than being able to help people. It's honestly the best part of my job.
So, as we always talk about, energy is everything, Cliff. I mean, if you've seen energy, it's just about energy, and I know we were laughing because, you said, you had a full head of hair. I had a full head of dark hair when I first started.
Me too.
This. Yeah, right. So, but I wake up every day energized, right? And I have the feeling you do as well, because you have so much going on. So to give somebody a clue of what the day in the life looks like, when does it start? When does it end? Or is it every day that ends in Y, as I say? Is it just a go?
I don't remember a time where I've gone on vacation and have been able to disconnect, right? Yeah. But again, that's my option, right? Some people can, and I can't tell you how many people tell me, you have to slow down. You have to slow down, right? But and do what? Right. What am I going to do? Am I going to just hang out by a pool and get sun and be as tan as you are? But what am I supposed to do? Yeah. And so I'm always trying to add, so I can get to a point in my life when I am in my 50s or 60s where I can work less and coach more, right? But I have to build something. It's not going to build itself. And so, yes, I wake up early every single day. Yeah. Yes, I'm always, trying to help people and be attentive and respond to my client calls and help my agents. So
that's tough, right? Because you have a lot of that coming in, I would imagine.
It is. But you know what? It's also about, like I said earlier, surrounding yourself with good people who can help support your growth. Yeah. And I've had I've been so blessed with the greatest family anybody can ask for.
Yeah.
I have a great support system in my life, and people I've surrounded myself with have been tremendous to that. But the energy is important.
Yeah.
You know, you can't come into the office every single day, you know, oh, a deal fell apart, or I can't close the loan, the deals, and like, who cares? Like, first of all, if I'm going to come up with bad energy, everybody else is going to feel the same way,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
you all, even if you have stuff going on at home or in your life, you have to kind of leave that at home, at the doorstep, come into the office with energy and help people and help our agents. But I have a lot of energy, and I enjoy doing different things. Will I occasionally relax a little bit at a Red Sox game? Sure.
Okay.
Right? But other than that, I still have my phone. I'm still checking my email, and I still do what I do.
And so with that, like I the same way, like I feed off of other people's energy. Like I have the teams that I work with and high producing realtors that I love working with and my loan officers. What do you look for in partners? Like what is it that you're looking, you know, obviously we've partnered up and we've had a good relationship started and we're going to do great things together. But like what makes that work for you and your team? Like, what are you looking for? Anybody out there that says, "Oh, I'd love to meet Cliff," or "Oh, God, I wish I could have a shot at him."
Yeah.
You know, but like that's always a tough thing.
What shot? I mean, it all depends, right?
Yeah. But you know, like partners are important, right? Because they also help the organization.
Very simple core values: ethics, integrity. I am not a person who was ever given anything in my life.
Yeah.
I've worked for every single thing that I have. Any business that I've owned, I've worked for. Every dollar that I have, I've earned, right? I haven't done it the wrong way. I haven't done it a bad way. I haven't done it in an illegal way.
Right.
I've done it the right way. And the people that I surround myself, if there's ever any question of ethics being violated in my mind, I will just turn them off. And that might be a bad thing, but that's just who I am as a person.
I agree. I could agree with that 100%.
And so the vendors that we have in our market center are within my team, whether it's staff, whether it's a law firm, whether it's a title company, a mortgage broker, a home inspector, or an insurance broker, whoever it is. I want to be around people who have integrity, who have core values of true ethics. And other than that, we'll be very successful at whatever we do. But you got to do it the right way and don't cheat the system. You're never going to win that way, ever.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, Cliff, people are going to love seeing this, obviously. I call him the Prince of Fall Rivers in the house. But like, you know, why, like I always ask my clients and people that I work with, like, why Balkun Title? Why Dan Balkun? You know, what makes you feel comfortable, as we just talked about, working with somebody like me or my company?
It's an alignment of interests, in my opinion. I mean, you have a really good support system, really good staff. The people that you've surrounded yourself with align with my core values and my agency's core values of working with integrity, working hard, and being there when you need them the most, right? And those are the key traits I feel that you and your company certainly bring to my firm and my brokerage and my team and me personally. You know, your willingness to help and your willingness to go above and beyond, not necessarily for the dollar, but to help a person, really means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And it aligns where I'm going with my career, where my brokerage is, you know, mission is, and the vision that I have for my company and my team, all align, especially with what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Well, there you go. I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, brother, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Much success this year and moving forward.
Together, hopefully.
Together. Yeah. And be on the lookout. I think Cliff and I are going to put together some really nice seminars and put some really cool workshops in place by bringing in speakers from all over the country. So be looking forward to that. And hey, have a nice summer, and let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Perfect.